from our neighbors and from from our partners, especially emergency response partners, because this is why we all agree to support each other and help each other. So at this time, though, we would like to ask the public that they not take their drones, not fly their drones, especially over the affected areas, or anyone else for that matter, because only emergency operations and flights are allowed at this time. We did have some issues yesterday with some interference from privately owned drones. So a large portion of the Onalaska area is also under a boil water notice, because of course when something like this happens, then the electricity had to be cut off in the grid because we didn't know where the power outages were. The residents of Onalaska can pick up drinking water at Garland Park in Onalaska, and food will also be available for them today at noon at Garland Park. The Burke Center is offering grief counseling to the community, and the grief counseling, if they need it, is at Pine Forest Baptist Church in Onalaska as well, since this is mostly the community that was impacted. And we do want to ask everybody to avoid the impacted areas, stay out of there, because we do not want to interfere with any emergency service, and we certainly do not want to get in the way of an ambulance that is trying to get somebody out. So if anyone that's interested in volunteering or would like to make contributions or donations, we are directing all of those to the Polk County Center of Hope. So the Center of Hope was very instrumental during Harvey for us, and so we want everything directed towards them. They basically coordinate everything for us. So also they can monitor the, you want me to wait? Also, they can monitor the Polk County Emergency Management Facebook page for updates. If they do have specific questions, if they will contact emergency management, not necessarily through the thread, but directly and message them, then we do have people managing that post and answering phone calls and directing people to resources as best they can.
Can you go over the numbers again? Are those homes or is that structures?
At this time, we have 291 homes, and so we have multiple structures that also receive damage, but we're not, completely destroyed. The destroyed homes were at least 46 at this time. And thank you all, and what we will do is we will try to keep you updated as much as possible, and we will do this again at 1:15. If there's any changes in the numbers, we'll let you know.
Guys, could you talk real quick just about what this means for your community? I mean, have you ever seen anything like this before?
Well, I think there are a lot of us that have never seen anything like this before. The swath from this tornado is huge. It was very wide. And of course, part of it is, as we all run around with our face masks, is that this community is now facing 2 disaster declarations at the same time, because amidst the COVID pandemic, we are having to try to help and assist people that are in serious distress at this time.
Are there any numbers on the number of people reported missing at this time?
I think we've located, there were some concerns, but all those people were located. And so at this point in time, to our knowledge, we do not have anyone that is missing at this point in time.
Is there an ongoing search of Lake Livingston?
There's an ongoing search of everything right now. So there's an ongoing search of the lake area, everything, every place where damage has been reported. And it's everything from going door to door to checking in with people and saying, check on your family, how are your neighbors. So, and in a community like this, more happens with people saying, oh, my aunt lives there, oh, my grandmother, more happens that way, because that's the only way we live here, so that's the only way law enforcement can really respond and see things. So.
For arriving late, can you read that first part of your statement, please?
Sure. Okay, so yesterday the Onalaska area was heavily impacted by tornadoes touching down that affected 291 homes and destroyed 46. And at this time, more data is being received. It caused approximately 30 injuries, and at this point we have 3 fatalities. Okay, thank you all. Thank you very much.
And could you talk about the tornado specifics? Do you guys know how long it stayed on the ground, how far away, or anything like that?
No, we're still receiving that information. We are still receiving that information. And what we are emergency management. This is Courtney Comstock. She's an emergency management coordinator. And so what we will do is when the experts in the field, when the Weather Channel or the weather people, the state tells us what the parameters have been, then we will be happy to share that. But at this time, we don't have that specific
And
information.
what can you give us for the detail for the 3 fatalities? Kids, parents, moms, dads?
Okay, that was also in the statement. It includes a female in her 20s, a male in his 50s, and another male that we do not have specific information on.
Any updates on electricity and water?
They're working as frantically and as quickly as they can. Okay, Sam Houston Electric had manpower out last night. The Texas Department of TxDOT had people out last night. DPS had people out last night. We had volunteers out last night with chainsaws and trucks, and because there were a lot of people who could not get out of their neighborhoods or could not get out of their homes, and so all of that had to be removed and just put to the side of the roads until so ambulances and emergency responders could get in and out. Okay,
Will you give
thank
us
you
the
guys.
numbers again for the houses?
I'll give them to you, but let me.
At that point, will the media be allowed to get footage from the ground?
Okay, let me respond to that one. Footage from the ground. We do not want anybody going into these neighborhoods right now because we are still trying to get people out. Okay, just because they have not been injured doesn't mean that they have electricity, they have water, those kinds of things. So right now we really need for everybody just to stay put for now until we can make sure that all of our residents have received whatever services they need. Because we do also have a number for non-emergency, I'm stuck here, I can't get out. We have a number for those residents to respond to as well. So right now, if we could just stay away from the neighborhoods, stay away from the affected areas, then that would really help our emergency management and first responders.
And last question, overall, do you think this is something the community has dealt with before, or is it something that's astronomical scale for this community?
It's astronomical scale for this community. It would be astronomical scale for a lot of communities, just because it happened so quickly and it had such a wide path. Thank you.
And
I'm gonna step out on this one.
The one shelter is still over the high school gym in Dunmore.
Okay, that was not a shelter. That's not a shelter. What the strategy was that those people that were removed that had to leave, if they were not injured and had to go to the hospital or to see medical personnel, then those people were screened at the high school, right? They were screened, they were checked by our local public health officer. So he screened them because if we were going to open a shelter, we did not want people that were potential COVID, right, going all into a shelter together. So part of it was the duality of having to deal with both situations at the same time. So those people were screened, and those people have gone home or have gone to friends, family, whomever. And in some cases, they've been placed in hotels. Red Cross is completely dealing with those at this point in
Okay, so
time.
there's no shelter.
Yeah, so
Thank you very
we're good for that.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
What are the numbers for the